What's going on, everyone? My name is Jared. First off, I will apologize for my messy room. I just moved back from college, so I just haven't put everything away yet. But anyways, welcome to the channel. This first video, as you can see through the title, is my shoulder and lat training. So for the first 5 videos or so, I'll just put training clips up of my current training. These are, up to date and everything, and I'll include a voiceover with the training clips. During the voiceover, I'll just mention mental cues that I'm giving myself during the movement, how to perform the movement safely, and how to get the most out of each movement. If you're new to this, feel free to copy the workouts verbatim. I'll put titles on each clip that give the rep and set scheme. If you are pretty familiar with the gym, feel free to take the rep and set scheme and pick different movements that maybe hit the same muscle groups that just feel better for you. Or if you know that, for instance, in the video I do a behind the neck shoulder press. If you know that bothers your shoulder internally, or say your elbow, don't do that, obviously. Pick a different variation that will still hit the same muscle group. Why am I bringing this little series to YouTube? I figured now would be a good time because with New Year's coming, I know that a lot of New Year's resolutioners like to step foot in the gym as their New Year's resolution. So this will give them an idea of what to do if they have no idea, or even if you have trained before and just want like new workouts. Like I said, feel free to copy them. But again, on the New Year's resolutioners, I feel like some people fear that they'll go into the gym, or they don't go into the gym because they fear looking stupid because they don't know what they're doing, which that's okay. Like, we've all started there, or we've all been there. We walked into the gym without a clue. When I was in high school, I would walk into the gym, look at the biggest guy in the room, and do his workout. So as soon as, let's say he was flat dumbbell bench pressing, I would wait till he was done with that bench, grab myself a pair of dumbbells, and perform what I thought he did. The same reps, same set scheme. I don't know. But the problem with that is when you see people doing these movements, you might pick up on like how they do it, and even though like they look good, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing the movement right, if that makes sense. So you walk into the gym and you just follow somebody around that looks like they know what they're doing, but you also have no knowledge of it, so you don't know any better. This could result in bad habits. Bad habits can result in injuries that can take you out of the gym forever. That's extreme, but it's possible. So okay, I apologize for the cut in the video. My camera died, so I just had to recharge it for a couple minutes. For some reason it dies really, like the battery on it dies really quickly, so I'll have to pick up another battery. Anyway, again, the training clips will include a voiceover that and during the voiceover I'll mention mental cues that I'm thinking about while I'm performing these movements, how to perform the movements not only safely but optimally. So let's get into the first training clip. What's going on, guys? As you can see, I'm starting off with a short snatch here. I put the question marks because I'll perform this at the beginning of all my shoulder workouts just to warm up the upper back and shoulder joints. So I'll perform anywhere from like 3 to 6 sets of 8 to 15 reps. Really just get some good blood flow in there. Really focusing on the top of the contraction, the lockout, and controlling the negative portion of the workout. This movement is good for overall shoulder health and back thickness. So I perform it, like I said, every shoulder day. So now we get into some behind the neck overhead press. I chose to do behind the neck for this phase of the program because I really just feel it in my front delt well. A couple cues. You want your shoulders externally rotated. So as you can see, my armpits are facing out. My forearms are perpendicular to the ground. I'm squeezing my glutes and keeping my core engaged, which is important for when it comes to stabilization and performing the movement safely. So then we hopped into some behind the neck lat pull downs. And these were done paired together. So you'll perform the movements back to back. That is one set, and then you will take your break. A couple things here. Again, keep your forearms perpendicular to the floor, armpits facing out. First, the initial part of the movement is the retraction of the scapula, as you can see, and then you drive down and back through your elbows. We don't want to contract our arms and pull through our biceps. Feel free to use wraps if your forearm gives out. We want our back to get tired before our forearms. So now we're getting into some easy bar curl front raise. You can use a barbell if you're strong enough. I'm not strong enough to do 45-pound barbell front raises with control. So a couple things here. I'm hinged at the hips forward. So as you can see, I'm slightly leaned forward essentially. I'm stopping the bar 6 to 8 inches probably away from my quad. This is just so that tension remains on the front delt. If I were to take it all the way to my quad, the tension would release. I'm controlling the negative for approximately 3 to 4 reps, or 3 to 4 seconds, excuse me. And try not to sway as much as you can. So keep your core engaged, keep your glutes squeezed, and that will just help stabilize you. If you have to take a 3 to 5 second rest and like reset your form, that's fine, just to finish your set with the proper form. So now we're going to get into some what are supposed to be straight bar cable pullovers, but as you'll see here, I fail. And the machine just doesn't allow that big of a range of motion, so I switched to the dual rope. It works the same muscles essentially. The dual ropes for my situation just worked better because it allowed a full range of motion. A couple things here. We want to, again, keep the scapula retracted, so pull down and back the whole time. We want those to initiate the movement, and then we will drive through our lats down and back. When I do these, I try and lean forward and have my lats in line with the cable throughout the whole motion. You can see that I arch my back a little bit on the contraction point. This is just to shorten the lats a little bit more. This movement will cause some tricep activation. That's fine. One of the functions of the triceps is shoulder flexion, so a little activation is inevitable. Feel free to substitute this movement for the machine cable pullover if you feel that better. I just prefer this over a machine pullover because I have yet to find a cable or a machine pullover that I actually fit correctly in, no matter how I adjust myself. So next we'll get into some dumbbell lateral raises. I performed 5 sets of 16, as you see. A couple things. I'm hinged at the hips very slightly, so there's a slight forward lean. My core is engaged throughout the whole time. When you raise the dumbbell, you want your side delt to be on top. So the elbows never go above my shoulder plane. This is just so we don't include traps in the movement. We're just trying to focus solely on the side delt. And also, I find that it works best if you keep your wrist below your elbow. So you can see like my thumbs are turned down a little bit. It's nothing major, but just little tweaks like that to really isolate the side delt here. Just controlling the negative, doing a small pause at the top just to be sure that I'm actually contracting the muscles instead of just going through the motions. So supersetted with the dumbbell lateral raise is a dual grip lat pull down performed in the cable crossover machine. Again, with the back movement, retract your scapula, so pull it down and back before driving your elbows down and back. And again, driving through your elbows will just take your biceps out of the movement. Something that can help with also taking your biceps and forearms out of the movement is instead of wrapping your thumb around the bar, just hook your thumb around the bar with the rest of your fingers. So they pretty much just act as hooks, and it just I don't know what it is about it. It just takes the bicep out of the movement and your forearm as well. So that's just a better way to isolate the lat. So again, this workout consisted of 3 supersets, 6 movements in total. The supersets are a great way to get in plenty of volume in a shorter amount of time because you're performing 2 movements before you take a break. By applying all the cues I talked about, you should be safe while performing these movements, along with performing them effectively and getting a decent pump. That concludes the first video, so please like, subscribe, and comment with any questions that you have.